Welcome everyone to VizAnalytics. I am Jim Sanos with Adrian Tateno and Leo. Let's get you to a demo here of VizAnalytics and what exactly it does. So when we log in here to Planet Princeton, it will show us their Google Analytics in relation to the Google Analytics of other similar websites. So what you see up here is the engagement metrics. Bounce rate is just an illustration of the number of people that go to the website, see one page, and then leave. A high bounce rate is a bad thing. As you can see here, Planet Princeton is in the 0th percentile, which means they had the worst bounce rate of the companies we analyzed. Pages per session is simply the average number of pages that a viewer uses before they leave the website. And you can see here that Planet Princeton is in the 12th percentile, which is, again, not very good. You want that number to be a bit higher. Loyal visitors over here is a metric which we invented ourselves. It's a measure of the average number of users that visit the page on average one time per week. So what VizAnalytics does is takes the data from the previous month. So every visitor that was there 5+ times is a loyal visitor. Everyone else is not. You want that number to be as high as possible, and as you can see here, Planet Princeton was in the 50th percentile for the previous month. So we scroll down here, you can see how readers got to the site. Search traffic, pretty obvious. Google, Bing, other search engines getting them to the site. It can help you measure how good you are with SEO and other things. Social is Facebook, Twitter. You can try to see whether or not you need to amp up your resources devoted to those various social media outlets. And also direct traffic, which is where people will log in and type out the URL of your website directly and get there via that. And finally, referral, which is where another website such as a blog or a partner website links to your site, and people click on that link and get there via that. Over here you can see how people are viewing your website and what kind of platform they're using to see it. As you can see here for Planet Princeton, it's 55% desktop, 31% mobile, and 13% tablet. And down here what you see is the average for each of the companies that we analyzed, and all these companies were hyper-local websites to try to give them a good benchmark of how their competitors are doing. If we click on the more here, we see additional engagement metrics. And down here you see the expected bounce rate. Now what that is something that we crafted, and what we saw when we were analyzing the data was that there was a high correlation between the bounce rate of a company and the percentage of referrals via social media. So if a person or a site had a lot of referrals via social media, their bounce rate was higher. What we wanted to measure, though, was the bounce rate based on the design of the page. So we canceled out the effect due to social media, or tried to, with an algorithm based on a line of best fit, and gave an expected bounce rate. So down here, you see that the bounce rate for Planet Princeton is 2% higher than we would have expected, which is not exactly what you want, and that means that the design of their page is not optimal for getting users to engage with the page. Over here you can see the bounce rate by platform, which kind of illustrates whether or not they need to work on the responsiveness of the design of their website for different platforms and different sizes of screen. Down here you see the same thing for pages per session, and the expected pages per session was based on the percentage of referrals via direct referral, and because Planet Princeton had a lot of direct referrals, their expected pages per session was actually pretty high. We saw there was a high correlation, a positive correlation, as the direct referrals went up, so did the pages per session. But here at Planet Princeton, their pages per session was lower than their expected pages per session, which means, again, the design of their site is not optimal. That's something that they should focus on in the future. Once again, over here you see the pages per session by platform to give you kind of an illustration of where they're performing on each of the different ways. If we log out of here from Planet Princeton and log on to another website, show you the differences in the various sites and how VizAnalytics can vary depending on the Google Analytics of a different company. So here for Berkeley side, you see different metrics. You see not as many social referrals and a high usage via the desktop, but they're doing better. They're doing very well with their bounce rate and pages per session, so they can use this to kind of analyze how they're stacking up against their competitors. And once again, you can see this here. So that is what VizAnalytics does. If you have any questions, you can tweet at us at VizAnalytics1. We'd love to hear your comments and your feedback of this website.